So welcome everyone, Sangha members, community members, to this group meditation practice with some guidance with me, your host, Bhante Varrapanyo. We're going to start with a little bit of a chanting and a little bit of incense to kind of help settle and calm the mind. Usually when we first start our meditation practice, the mind's a little bit jumbled up. It's a little bit antsy. And oftentimes just kind of listening to a chanting, lighting some incense can really help us to calm and settle, especially right at the beginning of a meditation. So I'm going to light some incense, and I encourage everyone to bring their hands together in we can say a prayer position, but it's really bringing our palms together out of sincerity and a consideration, and also the intention. So you need a lot of intention and heart to practice meditation. So bringing our hands together as a representation of that. And you're welcome to chant along with me, or simply to listen deeply while holding your heart and your breath close. So let's begin. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddham saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. Tutiyampi Buddham saranam gacchami. Tutiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchami. Tutiyampi Sangham saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi Buddham saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi Sangham saranam gacchami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So now, please take a moment to find your meditation position. Perhaps you sit cross-legged, perhaps you lay down, maybe you like to meditate standing up. It's really up to you, but finding that comfortable and stable position for your body. And as we find that position, we can close our eyes and begin to bring our full attention, our wholehearted mindfulness, presence of mind, and place that attention onto the breath. And we need to give up, let go of this idea of the breath. It doesn't matter what you think the breath is or how that word sounds, or what that word represents to you, what the breath represents to you. Right now, you're breathing or you're dead. So placing our full attention and our full focus on the breath is not vague, it's not an idea. We are becoming aware of focusing on something that is happening right now. So we feel the breath, the directness, the aliveness, the reality of the breath as it comes in through the nose, goes down our throat, our chest, into our lungs, into our belly. Feeling the breath coming in and going out. And as we begin to focus and to be aware of the breath, we can also begin to focus on and be aware of our sincerity, our willingness to breathe, our willingness to be aware of the body and mind at this moment. Our willingness and our sincerity not to watch something, not to listen to something, not to achieve something or to get rid of something, but our sincerity and our willingness to be aware right now, to be aware of the body, to be aware of the mind. And this directness, this physicality, this feeling, this reality of the breath coming in through the nose, filling up the belly and going out. This is our anchor, our reminder, our place to come back to when we get lost in the storm of our mind, our judgments, our habit of reacting immediately to what we experience. When we notice those confused, distracted states of mind coming up, when we notice that monkey mind coming up, we go back to our anchor, the breath coming in and going out. And we allow ourselves, for this period of time, we allow ourselves for this meditation to give up, to let go of any fixed ideas that we have about ourselves or our experience. With each breath, a kind of generosity, a kind of willingness to be aware of everything that we're experiencing, to be fully awake and aware, but also to give up, to let go, to detach from anything and everything that we experience. So there's no confusion, there's no complicatedness. It's simply a matter of your willingness, your sincerity, your deep intention to show up. To show up again and again, breath by breath, moment by moment, to return to this awareness, not to reacting, not to thinking, not to judging, not to running away from what we're experiencing, or trying to move towards a certain experience that we want to experience, but rather, moment by moment, breath by breath, allowing ourselves to just breathe and be aware. At times it is relaxed and peaceful. At times we encounter great difficulty. So our practice is, no matter what we are experiencing, to be fully aware, fully sincere, fully awake. Keeping in mind that we are not practicing alone. We are practicing together as a part of a community, allowing that to inspire us, allowing that to support us. Keeping in mind that we know how to do it. We know how to practice. Allowing that to support and encourage us as we practice. Keeping in mind, remembering that this is a way of showing up for ourselves. This is a way of healing ourselves. This is a way of taking care of our body and mind. There's nothing to be confused about. There's nothing complicated in what we are doing. We are walking through this doorway of peace that is right here, right now, fully accessible to us. So as we hear the sound of the bell, allow yourself to fully commit, to be determined, to put forth a great effort, a sincere effort, to really practice at this time, to really see what your heart has to offer, to be with the body, to be with the mind, to be with the breath. The bell invites us to go deep and to experience our true nature, our original mind, our peace mind. Our meditation today will begin and end with the sound of the bell. So let's invite the bell of mindfulness to permeate through the whole of our body and mind, right here, right now. allowing our body and mind to settle more and more into this practice of just breathing, just being aware, just hearing, just feeling, just noticing thoughts. With each breath, with each thought moment, allowing ourselves more and more to just breathe, to just be aware. we may find ourselves beginning to have a more difficult or a more pleasurable experience. Perhaps strange thoughts or nice thoughts or rare thoughts that we experience. We accept without struggle, without friction, without confusion, these experiences that we are having, without any need for them to go away or change. And we practice just sitting, just breathing, just being aware. If there is a painful feeling, be aware of the painful feeling. If there is a relaxed, almost sleepy feeling, don't fall asleep. Be fully aware of the mind and body right now. Remembering to stay close to our anchor, our method of meditation, which is the directness, the aliveness of the breath, coming in and going out. Even if the mind and the body become complicated, difficult to be with, we continue practicing in this way of simple, sincere, just breathing, just being aware. Breathing in deeply, we can feel the freshness, the aliveness of our meditation practice in this present moment. We're always practicing meditation here in the present. We're always coming back to being aware now. Even if we're feeling peaceful and relaxed and dreamy, we can take a deep breath and come back to this brightness, this clear awareness. Not foggy, not a dead meditation, but alive, aware, bright. In the same way, we can take a deep breath and feel the freshness, the aliveness of our awareness, even in the midst of a pain or a struggle to meditate, a difficulty. Even though there's this pain, this stress, this feeling of some problem, taking a deep breath, we can feel the coolness, the freshness of the air. And we can be with that feeling of unpleasantness, pain, sleepiness, dreaminess, in a way that is upright, stable, full. In this way of bright, clear awareness of whatever we're experiencing, just breathing, just being aware, allowing ourselves to do it until we hear the sound of the bell. If we feel comfortable to do it, we can bring a soft and gentle smile to our face. So in that way we are smiling at the body, smiling at the mind. Even though there may be a suffering, there may be a difficulty, we may not be the perfect, enlightened monk, person, whatever it may be that we want to be. As we breathe, as we are aware, smiling to the whole body, smiling at the whole mind, the good, the bad, the boring, breathing and smiling, accepting completely all aspects of ourself, all parts of ourself at this moment. No matter if they are good or bad, right or wrong. Breathing and being aware. So after our meditation, it can be nice to give a deep bow. We bow to really our own practice, and we can also bow to one another. We appreciate each other's practice. And after giving that bow, we can rub our hands together. This is a fun thing to do. We can rub our hands together really quickly and start to feel a heat in our hands. Then we can massage our face. Massage our eyes, our ears, the whole head, the neck, the shoulders. If there's any place in your body that has a particular feeling of pain or uncomfortableness, you can also massage there, maybe the knees or the legs. So our meditation today was 40 minutes. It's a very good amount of time to meditate. And we will open up the space before we end our session with the opportunity, if anyone has a question or would like to share about their experience, you can do that.
I'd like to go. Um, share my experience.
Okay, go ahead.
Um, I found myself mostly with thoughts, but for a little while I was fighting it, and then I think at one point you said not to, and that really switched uh, my experience for me. So I found that very helpful. Thank you.
We spend enough time fighting. So if you want to fight, you should sign up for karate. If you want to accept and to be kind and to be patient, you should practice meditation. So thank you very much for your sharing, Morgan. Really appreciate that.
I have a question.
Okay, Carl, go ahead with your question.
It's not specific to this session, but I figure there's probably no one better to ask. Um, in times when I'm meditating alone, sometimes, um, very often, what I'll do is attempt to count my breaths and then,
Sorry, I got cut off for a second there. You said to
oh,
count your breaths?
no worries. Yeah, so the method that I typically like to use is counting my breaths and then increasing the space, like trying to make it like 10 seconds in, 10 seconds out, something like that. And I've noticed that often I will get to a point where I don't know a better way to describe this, but it kind of feels like I'm being sucked out of my own head and like something's ripping me. It's like a vacuum is like connected to the top of my head and I'm being like sucked out. And it's a really honestly horrifying feeling. It feels like I'm like I it's very shocking and I immediately start jerking like physically to just try to become alive again, like to try to like just come to my senses. I'm just curious if anyone else has experienced that or if you've experienced that or is if there's any explanation to it.
So, thank you for your question, um, Carl, I think. So,
Yeah.
Carl, one layer is enough. So, for our meditation method, breath counting can be very powerful. Very good method to count your breath. Up to 10, start back again. But worrying about spacing it out or breathing more deeply or more slowly, it's too much. You don't want to add that onto it. Just counting your breath, that is your method. And, naturally, as you do that, your breath is going to become more settled, more calm, more relaxed, more spaced out, right? But don't intentionally try to space out your breath. As we calm down, as we relax in our meditation method, whatever that might be, we are allowing the breath to find a natural rhythm. We're not controlling it. Even if we feel like we're controlling it, don't worry about controlling it or not. You're being with the breath, and in your case, you are counting the breath, right? As we practice a meditation, we're going to have all kinds of different experiences. Some of us are going to see purple elephants. Some of us are going to see pink elephants. Some of us are going to hear voices. Some of us are going to hear things. Some of us are going to feel ourselves rising. Some of us are going to feel ourselves falling. All of these experiences are normal, natural, and you just keep practicing. You don't need to worry about these experiences. You're not going to, you know, I don't know if this reference is relevant for you, but you're not going to find yourself in Danny Phantom's shoes. You're not going to, maybe that didn't click with anyone, but you're not going to get pulled out your body and then look around and be like, oh my goodness, I meditated myself out of my body. What am I going to do? How am I'm going to have to like possess a phone so I can call a physicist or something, and figure this all out. It's too many layers. So you have your meditation
Mm.
method and you know about it, right? And you're able to practice with it. So this is a very rare position to be in. Most people will never get to this stage in their practice. So you continue developing your concentration, but you also continue to develop your relaxation. You're calming, you're relaxing. You're not working on shooting up to the moon at this point. And as you get more, as you invest more in your method of meditation, you need more support. You need more resources. So joining a group like this, that's pretty good. Visiting a meditation center or a place in your area, that's pretty good. Listening to talks from Dharma teachers, that's really good. This is important stuff because our mind is very powerful. And a lot of people are coming from backgrounds of trauma or backgrounds of instability, right? Unstable mind. We have a lot of suffering. So if you work up that concentration too quickly, you can get yourself into kind of rough territory. You can stress yourself out. And that's not what we're working to do here. So keep with your practice, just your method, apply it, and relaxing, concentrating. And if you decide that you want to invest more into that you want to go deeper, you know, you have to have those resources. And the main ones are community and teachings. So Thich Nhat Hanh, Ajahn Brahm, these kinds of people. We have a lot of resources here in the Discord. You start to listen to those talks when you're meditating or when you're going for a walk or when you're cleaning up around your house. I don't really know what you do, but start to get some of that Dharma going in so that you're not just running around blindly with sharp knives. Okay? Does it sound good?
Yeah, I guess I feel like it's important to say that, in no way am I intentionally trying to, end up in Danny Phantom's shoes. It's more like a very startling experience that kind of comes out of nowhere, and it usually interrupts my practice completely. So I
Yeah.
hear what you're saying about keeping a focus not on concentration, but more on just observing yourself and counting what is naturally occurring rather than trying to control it. And that's very helpful. Um,
Those experiences are temporary, for sure. So you just don't need to worry about it too much. If you focus on it too much, you're like, well, I'm having this experience. You're going to be working yourself up into that every time that you meditate. We have all kinds of different experiences, you know, and they're not impermanent. And you'll continue to have different experiences. Um, so that's the big thing is don't get too riled up about one particular experience because for sure it's not going to stick around. And if you are having that like detaching from the body thing going on, I would say you can get yourself a mala. Get yourself one of those beaded necklaces or wristbands. Like they have wooden balls on them. And then when you're counting your breath, you can rub your fingers on one and you go to two. Count your fingers on two. Count your breath on three. So this can help you just stay grounded in the body, with the body, and connected. So you won't become, your soul won't leave your body so easily, so to speak.
I guess if you don't mind, I kind of have one last follow-up question.
Okay.
Um, Based on what you said, there's only one thing that is uncertain to me, which is, I don't know, is this normal? Because I
Yeah,
know that
it's normal.
you
It's normal.
okay.
I mean, in meditation, that's what I was saying about like you're in a kind of rare position that you found a method and you are applying it and you know how to apply it. Like this is the doorway to real development on the spiritual path, is being able to pick up that method. And it's very rare. Many people never get to that point. In meditation or spirituality, it's all about beliefs, it's all about ideas, but you've actually been able to connect with a method. So it's really an amazing tool. It's a powerful tool. So having that tool, going deeper into your mind, going deeper into your practice, all kinds of experiences happen. Out of body experience, or like I said, your whole body is expanding, whole body is shrinking. Sometimes it's more psychological.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's more emotional. And it's a process, and we're all going through that in different ways. So remember that it's impermanent, and remember that the deeper intention in the practice is to wake up. Not to wake up to like a surreal spiritual experience, but to wake up to impermanence, to wake up to interconnectedness, to wake up to peace, reality as it is. And so as we do that, like I said, it's very normal to have all kinds of different experiences, but that's not to minimize your experience or to exaggerate it. It's
Mm-hmm.
normal. Keep practicing, and it certainly won't stick around.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for your question and your practice. I'm glad that you're here today. Anyone else have a question or want to share something? Someone on YouTube asked for the invitation link to the Discord server, so I'm going to send you that invite in the YouTube chat. Hopefully it'll work. I know Discord can be a little bit difficult to navigate for less tech savvy people, but it's a great platform. Okay, so we will end our meditation session the way that we started, just with a short Buddhist chant. This will be shorter than the one we started with. You're invited to chant along or just to listen deeply. And the literal translation of this chant from this very original Buddhist language is kind of like all respect, all consideration to the Buddha, the fully enlightened one, the totally enlightened one. But what does that mean for me? It means appreciating that I have an ability to end suffering. I have a Buddha nature. I have an ability to wake up. And that part of myself and that part of other people is not something to take lightly, but to really deeply appreciate, and to have reverence for, to lift up that appreciation of our ability to end suffering, to take care of it. And it's nice to sing, it's nice to listen, right? So we have that going for us as well. All right, so if you'd like to join your hands together with me, you can. And we'll end our meditation session with this Buddhist chanting. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Sadhu. 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 Okay. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining. Thank you for your practice, taking care of yourself in this way and showing up for the community in this way. So on the 10th, just an announcement, on the 10th, I will be leading a meditation retreat online. So it's possible that some of you may want to attend for that. If you're in America, it's going to be like a 3-hour or a 4-hour block in the mornings and a 3-hour or 4-hour block in the evenings. And that will be from the 10th to the 15th that we'll be having that meditation retreat. Still organizing it, still preparing it, so there's not a sign up just yet, but I will notify everyone when there is a sign up, and hopefully some of you can join and have some intensive practice together. All right? So take a good care of yourselves, take a good care of your life, and I hope I will see you all again soon.